Neighbors in a rural community just southwest of Sherman are outraged and disturbed of a troubling case of possible animal neglect. Michelle Roush has been following the story. She joins us with more. Michelle?
Craig, I spent the afternoon with Janine Clark after she told us about a serious case of malnourished and neglected horses. Her friend lives on a neighboring piece of land and first questioned the welfare of the horses back in November. Their condition has worsened and now they require immediate attention. After months of grazing on this plot of land, which only bears sprouts of weeds, these horses have been reduced to skin and bones. With nothing to eat or drink, they have leaned as far as they can reach onto the neighboring property and consumed as much grass as they can. Now that all remains there is dirt. Janine Clark worries that as the summer temperatures continue to soar, that the animals won't make it much longer.
Quick, I don't think they're going to make it much longer between the heat and no food. One of them is almost limping when it walks, and the other ones look bad. I'll be surprised if they make it through the first part of the summer if something isn't done.
Mrs. Clark has called the Humane Society, who said the matter was out of their control. When she called the Sheriff's Department, they recommended she call Animal Control. That's who the case rests with for now, but since it's a Friday, it would take a judge's order to get the animals removed, and that's on hold until at least Monday, Craig.
Michelle, have you been able to talk to the owner of the animals yet?
No, we haven't been able to. I tried to reach him at his house, but as I proceeded to walk up the driveway, a pack of dogs rushed towards me, barking, and would not let me continue up the driveway. We have also been unable to reach him by phone for comment, but we'll continue to try to throughout the evening. Of course, we'll have more at First News at 10, Craig.
Okay, Michelle, we look forward to that report. A startling discovery at a Grayson County pasture prompted one woman to find help for several horses. Thank you for joining us. 4 horses reduced to skin and bones. That's what Janine Clark saw last night on a small piece of property west of Farm Road 1417. Now she's determined to get the animals much-needed help so they'll have a fighting chance to stay alive. Michelle Roush reports.
Yeah, they're just, in fact, it looks like one of them's kind of bleeding.
It's a devastating scene. Horses' bones and rib cages practically pushing through their thin layer of skin. They try to graze, but all that's left is dirt and sprouts of weeds. A neighboring pasture flourishes with grass, but it's out of reach for these animals who so desperately need it.
I could hardly sleep last night. They're in such bad shape. There's no grass in the pasture at all for them to eat, and they've got scars on their chest from leaning out onto the fence trying to get food. And, you know, to make it worse, they're starving, and there's all kinds of grass all around them that they can't get to.
Clark's friend, who owns the property next to the horses, first noticed they looked unhealthy back in November. That's when she called the Humane Society and the Grayson County Sheriff's Department. But to her knowledge, nothing was done. As the summer temperatures continue to soar, those who see the condition of these horses wonder how much longer they can endure it.
I don't think they're going to make it much longer between the heat and no food. One of them is almost limping when it walks. The other ones look bad. I'll be surprised if they make it through the first part of the summer if something isn't done.
That's why Clark is taking immediate action. She took pictures of the horses to Animal Control. When the officer found out who owned the horses, he said the man is no stranger to their department. That's because he'd been to the property before. As for now, though, Animal Control says nothing can be done until Monday at the earliest. That's when a county judge could order an investigation into possible neglect and seize the horses.
I'll do what I can within my grasp. You know, an abuse investigation and seizing animals from somebody is a time-consuming process, because you can't just go on somebody's property and take them without doing the investigation first, and that, like I said, that takes time.
And time is something that is ticking away for these animals. Michelle Roush, First News, Grayson County.
Now, First News attempted to make contact with the owner of the horses, both at his home and by phone. We were unable to reach him for comment.